بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. I'm Nazik Malaika. It's of my pleasure to discuss with you an important issue in our profession, that is course evaluation. We are going to overview what the definition of course evaluation, know its importance, and go in depth in the steps of effective course evaluation. بدءا بتعريف course evaluation زي ما عرفتوا في محاضرة بروف سهل، إنه evaluation هو the collection and analysis of data about the inputs, processes and outputs of anything. لما كان curriculum كان بنقول of the curriculum، هنا هنقول of the course to inform decision making about continuous improvement and transformation. طيب، والcourse evaluation is part of the program or curriculum evaluation, and it is wider than just assessment. Okay? It includes assessment. Course evaluation, or the true course revision or evaluation, looks at the pedagogy and structure of a course and is a process that requires time, commitment and patience. According to Merriam-Webster, pedagogy is the art, science, or profession of teaching, especially education. This definition covers many aspects of teaching, but pedagogy really comes down to studying teaching methods. And there are many moving parts of the pedagogy that include teaching styles, feedback, and assessment. So, the true course evaluation or revision looks at the learning styles, learning methods, feedback, and assessment. And it is a cyclical process. Course review or revision is not just a one step. It is a cyclical process. It is a continuous process that requires time, commitment, and patience. Course evaluation is a fact of life in education. It is very important. There is a large amount of research on the initial design of courses, but there is limited literature on review or revision or development as a standalone process in higher education. And today we are going to fill this gap. Course evaluation should stand alone as an important issue. Many studies, published studies, include it as part of the program or curriculum evaluation. It has to be looked at or viewed as a fact of life in education, as we said. There are certain words that needs to be clearly or to be cleared. What is course revision or evaluation, and what is course update? لما نغير distinction is very important. And conducting a course revision is not the same as a course update. In update, we only change the dates, the broken links, some topics, and so on. It looks like a cosmetic change, fine change. But the true course revision or evaluation looks to deeper issues concerning student learning in order to do a true course revision. The faculty update items or the revision should include deeper issues in the content, structure, learning achievements of students. Comprehensive versus spotlight revisions. The spotlight revision is a revision of a special aspect. For example, the assessment tools only. However, the comprehensive revision or review includes many aspects. Course evaluation is very important, as we mentioned earlier, for many reasons. It improves the quality of the learner experience in the course. It leads to better student learning outcomes. It reduces the time faculty must spend while teaching or facilitating a course. Furthermore, course evaluation is part of the program evaluation, which is an important area of accreditation and of increasing importance. It is a quality control of the educational program as a whole. There are 5 steps of effective course evaluation. We are going to spend a lot of time in these steps. Step 1 is to set revision goals. 2, review course structure, content, and assignment. Step 3 is to integrate student feedback. Step 4 is to record reflections, findings, and observations. And step 5 is to implement these revisions. The effective course evaluation should follow these steps. In reviewing the goals or setting the goals, we should consider both outward and the inward goals. The outward goals, such as revising course materials, improving structure, and strengthening assessments. And the deeper or inward goals, such as gaining a deeper understanding of teaching process and identifying personal time management issues. By the way, course evaluation is useful also to teachers, not only for the students' outcomes. It increases knowledge and skills of the teachers or facilitators. Reflection practice or reflective practice. During the process, faculty should be spending time using reflective practice. And the reflective practice is the process of casting a truly critical eye on the values and theories that inform practice, thereby leading to a deeper developmental insights. We have to set criteria for revision. After we set the goals, what we are going to review, we have to use the criteria for revision. And there are many popular instruments for guidance, but the faculty or the institution can develop their own instrument of revision. If they or follow or select one of these guidance to follow. These are useful websites that provide quality measures in course evaluation. Number one, Quality Matters at qualitymatters.org, OLC Quality Scorecard, OSCQR from Open Nazik Course Quality Review, and so on. At the end, the learning management systems like modules and others have their own quality measures and assessment or course evaluation forms. It is important to choose an instrument that fits well with the faculty members' evaluation style and has criteria that match the desired outcomes. Yeah. These different instruments contain different types, but in general they are much or more similar to each other. But you have to stick to one that fit well with your desired outcomes. The second step of course evaluation is the exact reviewing process. Review course structure, content, and assignment. It looks at a course, or this step includes looking at a course, gathering and analyzing any data, and determining if more data can be gained through formative assessment. There are direct and indirect ways of finding issues in a course. But the main purpose is to apply the criteria determined in the first step to find issues that can be resolved through revision of structure, content, and assignments. And step 2, the step of reviewing the course structure, content, and assignments, can consist of multiple strategies. There are 4 common strategies. Number 1 is the personal reflection, then data analysis, active course review, and the peer feedback and reflection. The personal reflection is an important strategy. Its advantage is that it is the first place to look for feedback from the faculty persons who teach the course, and that it is the easiest to obtain. However, it is not comprehensive. In personal reflection, there are information, or the information tends to be more tangible and valuable when looked at with a critical eye as things are happening in a course. So, effective course review is better to be done during the course is going on or during the provision of the course. There are many questions faculty can ask themselves. Some of them are examples, just examples. Where do I find myself spending too much or not enough time on a specific task or task? At what points in the course do I find myself explaining issues to students more often than I should? And others. In addition to the where and what questions, faculty should also strive to think more critically about the issues by looking at how and why questions. Why this occurs? How can we improve it? Taking time to determine why and how the problems present themselves helps faculty to think critically about their courses. This is a key to continuous improvement and a deeper understanding of pedagogy and student learning. As we said, learning or course evaluation is a process that needs time management and patience, and it is a useful process. The use of a note-taking instrument can be helpful. When the faculty take or during the conduction of the course, it is advisable that the faculty teaching the course use a note-taking instrument. Whatever it is, it can be just a paper and pencil, or a Word file, or a sheet, an Excel sheet, or others. For example, in the learning management system online learning, there is a way to put a revision note that are not seen or could not be seen by the students. As we said, step 2 consists of multiple strategies, one of which is the personal reflection. The second way is data analytics. And data analytics refers to using raw data, usually collected by the learning management systems, for example, Moodle, Blackboard, and others, to determine whether issues exist in the presentation of content, student learning, and student engagement. This learning management system, the Moodle you use, contains a lot of data, and it has its way to analyze data. It is easy to see for the learner or manager of the system to see who is logged in, for how hours, what he looked for, what he downloaded, and further, this system can correlate your time spent in the learning management system with your achievements in the different tests or assignments. These reports give faculty the ability to find areas in which their students may be struggling, or inversely, where the faculty themselves are struggling. For example, we are very struggling in the assessment or feedback of your assignments. This also will be seen when we measure the turnaround time of the feedback for assignments. The third strategy of step 1, the review course structure, can be the active course review. And in this strategy, the chosen evaluation instrument criteria should be used at the foundation of an evaluation process. Whether this instrument is prepared by the faculty themselves or chosen from the internet, from the different sites that give guidance. Active course review, however, will not catch all issues, as most instruments do not have criteria that can address certain types of issues, such as rigor, content quality, and any subjective issues in a course. But they are excellent at identifying procedural issues and instructional problems. The fourth strategy of step 1, review course structure, content, and assignment, can be peer feedback and reflection. And in this strategy, you seek the feedback of others during the review process. And it can be beneficial to the overall quality of the course review. We will know later who are these others. Others include other faculty members, instructional designers, content experts, for example, to make a video, an image, a structure, and so on, and even non-academic colleagues. All of them can be useful and can give a good feedback or reflection, and act as an external eye or external assessor of external quality managers. The third step of the effective course evaluation is to integrate student feedback. That feedback was from the faculty or others. Okay? Here we integrate the student feedback. And the students are the ones who are working through the content, assessment activities, and interactions on a constant and a consistent basis. So they are the one who will give an actual or important evaluation. For this step of the evaluation process, step 3, the integrated student feedback, faculty may look at 3 different but equally valid forms of student feedback. These are the unsolicited feedback, formative student feedback, and summative student feedback. The unsolicited student feedback نعني به إنه نحن ما دعيناهم لإنه طلبنا منهم feedback، جاء incidentally. And the faculty receive many different types of communication from their students. دي بتكون في شكل emails, forums, and so on. ممكن telegram groups, messages in the telephone, in the WhatsApp. Most of these, or during the lectures, most of these are critical identifiers about areas for improvement in the course. These are the unsolicited student feedback. They are very important. Compiling this kind of unsolicited student feedback should provide them with a clear picture of places in the course that need attention. It will by no means cover all issues, but it should identify guide spots to places that should be evaluated for improvement or removal. For example, الصوت ما واضح، يستخدموا تلفون، بيستخدم recorded lectures، المرة الجاية ما نستخدمها، الناس ما استفادت منها، وهكذا. Formative student feedback. كنا في 3 different types but equally valid types of student feedback. هم unsolicited والformative والsummative. الformative دي حاجة أثناء الكورس وهنستفيد منها لتعديله. Is the best practice. Formative student feedback is the best practice in teaching, and for course revision it can be one of the best tools. Giving students a voice in the course and the evaluation process is critical. After all, they are the ones for whom faculty are doing the revision. وده اللي أسي بتعمله دكتورة سلمى معاكم. كل مرة بتديكم a voice، بتديكم a poll، تسألكم من رأيكم الوضع ده كيف، المحاضرة نزلت، مسموعة ما مسموعة، وهكذا. The formative student feedback, when developing a formative assessment survey, faculty should be sure to use questions that speak to areas of the course that are identified as problematic. يعني لما نعمل formative student assessment بيكون عندنا حتة معينة، حتات معينة لاحظنا فيها قصور أو إشكاليات، نبنيه والأسئلة اللي حناخدها فيهم في البول أو في الفيدباك المعين ده تكون هي من تلك الأماكن المحددة اللي فيها إشكاليات، عشان إحنا دايرين نعدلها طوالي أثناء الكورس. There should be 3 to 5 open-ended questions في النهاية. دي المهمات عشان تدي فرصة للطالب يتكلم وما تحصره في 5 or 7 لايكرت سكال multiple choice ولا 5 لايكرت scale. طيب these surveys should only be used 3 to 4 times during the semester، ما نكترها كمان كتير. اوكي في السمستر 3 to 4 times. طيب لسه نحن في الفورماتيف ستودنت فيدباك. الأسئلة شنو؟ A non-exhaustive set of examples of formative assessment questions that can be used to solicit the feedback from students. مثال لها what is the most important or significant or useful or meaningful thing you learned? What was the central point of this course or module or chapter or unit؟ لأنه نحن في أثناء الكورس ممكن تكون بس unit. What questions still remain؟ نعرف منه هو لسه متطلع لشنو ونحن ما غطيناهم. طيب نجي للنوع الثالث في 3 different types but equally valid، هم unsolicited student feedback، formative and summative student feedback. دي كلها في step 3 the integrated student or student feedback. طيب السماتيف student feedback بيكون at the final step or at the end of the course. It's final student evaluations. There are some caveats. في بعض المحاذير to the use of summative feedback. Student performance in a course can affect the quality and tone of the feedback presented in end of course evaluations. لذلك ما محبذ إنه ندي evaluation form للطلاب بعد الامتحان ولا قبله حتى مباشرة. Okay. طيب caveats to the use still they may also present with far less accurate information than other types of assessments due to the artificial inflation and deflation of ratings. إذا اتعمل بعد إذا أخذنا الاسسمنت والجريدز بتاعتهم كنوع من السماتيف ستودنت فيدباك، احيانا بيحصل تغيير في النتيجه فما بكون ما بيعكس وضع حقيقي. Also there may also be a limit due to low response rate for different types of courses. وخاصة ولوحظ أكثر في الأونلاين فورمز الريسبونس عادة ما قاعد تكون عالية للإند السماتيف student feedback. طيب step 4 of the effective course evaluation is to record reflections, findings and observations. While faculty are reviewing course content and assignments and looking at the student feedback, they will need to document what they are seeing and thinking. Documentation is very important. Quality is documentation. Accreditation is documentation. Well, course evaluation is part of the quality management of the course. Having a running set of observations will help when they sit down to revise the course. يعني faculty when they sit to revise the course لما يلقوا عندهم running set of observations حيكون مفيدة بالنسبة لهم كثير. Organization is one of the keys to a successful evaluation and revision process. تكون منظمة الدوكيومنتس والobservations دي ما مخطوطة بطريقة لما أجي أقراها ما أستفيد منها كده ما حكون استفدت منها أي فائدة. Choosing a method of recording that makes sense and is comfortable to work with is vital. كيف أعمل الدوكيومنتيشن والأورجنايزيشن؟ في different methods زي ما قلنا عديدة جدا، منها ممكن تكون البيبر اند بنسل، ممكن تكون الوورد سوتس المختلفة، إذا وورد دوكيومنت، إذا وورد شيت بتاعت اكسل، إذا SSPS، إذا كلاود، في forms of the cloud ممكن تاخد فيها النوتس بتاعتك، وفي programs ممكن تعمل analysis للووردز اللي انت دخلتها وتحلل لك كم عدد الدوكيومنتس الووردز اللي تكررت بكثرة، فدي بتفيد كتير في انك تستفيد منها لقدام. الاناليسيس بيكون سهل، انها بتوريك الكومون questions، بتستفيد منها بعدين في frequently asked questions وهكذا. ففي طرق مختلفة، بالإضافة زي ما قلنا سابقا Learning Management Systems عندها طرق مختلفة برضو، طرق خاصة وعديدة للدوكيومنتيشن and organization. وأضف على ذلك في programmers وفي companies بقت ده شغل الاناليسيز بتاع الدوكيومنتس زي Learning Management Systems المختلفة بتستثمر فيهم. The method is less of documentation or organization is less important than the process itself. حفظتها كيف ده ما هو مهم، المهم انك لازم تكون documenting and organizing your reflections, your findings and your observations. Faculty should make sure that the notes they write will make sense at a later point. تحتفظ بها باستمرار، بعدين ما تقطعها بنهاية الايفالويشن في بتاع الكورس ده، لا تخليها باستمرار موجودة. record what was changed, the factors that lead to the issue change, the date the change was made, and whether or not the change was important. يعني الدوكيومنتيشن والاورجنايزيشن ما بيكون لانه انا بس عدلت الكورس ده سنة كده في شهر كده، لا، ليه انا عدلته برضه، والايشوز اللي خلتني اغير شنو تكون موجوده، الاوبزرفيشنز دي، وهل كان التشينج ده an improvement ولا لا. This can be helpful in not only creating a better course but also evaluating whether a new direction helped or hindered the educational experience. التغيير باستمرار، الايفالويشن يكون باستمرار، قلنا بيحصل حسب الزمن وحسب الانفورميشن ذاتها اللي اتغيرت. مثلا في الكورس في الميديكال اديوكيشن ماستر في الخرطوم يونيفرسيتي، الدفعه الاولى كان بطريقه مختلفه على الان انا بشوفها في الدفعه الرابعه، وكذلك في الثالثه والثانيه. كل مره بيتعمل evaluation وبيتعمل تغيير وتجديد وديفلوبمنت، بتدخل learning strategies مختلفة، methods مختلفة of learning زي recorded lectures. حتى الاونلاين learning بعد فترة الايرا بتاعت الكوفيد 19 حصل فيه ديفلوبمنت كتير، عشان كده الكورس بتاعكم ده متغير كتير او مستصحب معاه a lot of new strategies and learning methods. As we said, there are 5 steps of the effective course evaluation. Setting the goals, reviewing course structure, content, and assignments, integrate students' feedback, record reflections, findings, and observations. Then the final step is to implement the revisions. This step should be at the end, even the revision is minor. The steps should be in this sequence. The faculty need to give themselves enough time to properly execute the ideas. A revision shouldn't be done in a day or two. The process should be spread out to give ample time and ensure a complete revision. As we said, course evaluation or revision is a cyclical process that needs time, commitment, and patience. Faculty also shouldn't be afraid to seek out help from sources if there are issues with which they are unfamiliar or don't possess the knowledge to overcome. Seek out help from others, and the other sources can be the instructional designers. في ناس أصلا بيضعوا المناهج والكورسات وده تخصصهم في الإديوكيشن. Instructional technologies ناس ال IT في الجامعة. They are very important especially في ال online teaching, learning management systems المختلفة. وشكرا لها دكتورة تسنيم بس مهندسة تسنيم. وعلى السبورت اللي continuous اللي بتقوم فيه تقوم به للبروجرام ده. content developers إذا احتاجنا إنه يكون في فيديوز ولا في recorded lectures ولا في MX ولا في حاجات زي ده محتاجة إخراج و content development، أو ممكن نستعين بالناس المختصين في هذا الأمر ولا عندهم تجربة. وبرضه ممكن الاستعانة بالكوليكس. نهائي الشخص ما يخجل من إنه يطلب المساعدة من الشخص الخبير أو اللي له معرفة بالأمر أكثر منه. The final step of any course revision is to teach the course again. However, revision is not a linear process. It should not just start and end, but cycle forward to the next revision. Courses should be viewed as living documents that will change and adapt with time and information. And once upon a time, Leonardo da Vinci said that art is never finished, only abandoned. The same, courses are not completed, only abandoned, and we hope that they are considered as a living document. We came to the end of our session, and this is the main resource that from which I took most of the elements. Thank you very much. I'm welcoming your questions at my email nazikhussein@gmail.com. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.